but we're at the quilt frame working on Briar's quilt. This is the color. Burgundy is the color he chose for his ties. So I'm just going to, I got my laptop up here so I can see the chat. So we're just going to have this. I got it, or it takes me a bit to organize this, eh?
Help keep all your passwords safe. Choose Chrome to easily store your passwords.
There we go. All right, and we are on live chat. Hey, Tina, how are you, darling? I am working on this. I want to get this done because I want to start on my nephew Mikey's. But the thing is right now I have a small window to work on this right now because soon the garden's going to need weeding and all that fun stuff. Hey, Sewing with Farron. One of now you see I have 3 finger cots on here because this, it would be fine if you want to tie a quilt and use an old comforter. That's what this original quilt was. Now, if this was just the original comforter, it would be fine. But when you're going through something that has already been recovered, you're dealing with a lot of seams that are double and thick, and they're a pain in the butt to try and get the needle through. So this is one of the reasons I didn't want to redo this quilt, is because it's really difficult to tie, to get the needle through. And I need all 3 finger cots to help grab the needle, but it makes tying difficult. So it's a labor of love, quite frankly, for my baby boy, my brown-eyed baby boy. See, there's a corner of fabric meeting right there, so I'm going to try and avoid it. And you got to go through all 3. Here's another thing, folks. Don't tie them too tightly, okay? Don't make it so that it scrunches up, because what happens if it's too tight and it's a heavy blanket like this, every time he moves the blanket, it's going to pull on these really tight ones. Well, you don't want it tight. You want it to have some give, or it'll tear and pull right through, right? So there's all kinds of tricks to the trade here. Well, I do have needle nose pliers, and I've done that in the past, but there's a problem. It leaves marks. I don't know how well you can see this. It leaves marks on the needle, and it makes it difficult to get it through the fabric. So I'm just going to have to deal with friction. I tried that, and this is the only good darning needle I can find right now that has a sharp point on it, and I don't want to damage it any further than I already have with needle nose pliers in the past. So after this, I'm going to do a dinner video for Life with the Wolfies. See, there's another knot in that corner. So, oh, here comes the wind. It's quite chilly. It's almost the middle of June and I haven't even used my pool yet. All right. In a minute, I'm going to rethread this needle. And because it is so thick, you have to have larger spaces in your ties. Okay. All right. This is the last one right here. And I've got my hand in the back to make sure it goes all the way through. the back layer. Oh, okay, don't pull too hard or it's going to pull right through. There we go. Okay, everybody say hi while I rethread my needle. And then I'm going to move on down the line here. So you guys can see better what I'm doing. This is yarn I bought to knit Bubba his teddy bear. But my hands gave out on me after doing his cat. After knitting his cat, Mr. Bigglesworth, whom he calls Arthur. Maybe it's because it's got a big head. I don't know. But I'm using this yarn for tying, right? I have all kinds of yarn. I was planning on knitting so many things for that baby, and my hands just would not allow it. I don't know, man. Almost middle of June, and I haven't even gone in the pool yet. I'm usually in there by the May 2-4 weekend, but it's been too cold. It has been. Okay, let me pop out. Let me pop out the chat here and the participants list. And say hello. Wow, it doesn't. Is there only like 10 people here? Brenda Hoffer, Laura Sup, Laura. Linda Betty Boo Bop, Plain Jane, Renita Madrid, Sewing with Farron, Tina Elliott, Tender Rose, and Tony Nicole. All right, I'm going to want to get back down to the bottom of the chat. There we go. All righty. So, I'm going to try and do... so hard to get it. It's really hard on the hands. So I won't be doing this for very long. If I can get this row completed for today, I will be happy with that. I will be happy with that. Oh, this is a really long piece. Maybe I'm hoping it'll last right through to the end. Go, snip. So if I grab this with needle nose pliers, I should turn this off here. If I grab this with needle nose pliers, they actually make a mark on the needle, and that roughens the needle surface and actually makes it more difficult. So okay. And now that my laptop, I'm moved away from the laptop, I'm going to actually work all the way up. I'll come back and do this before I roll. You can't go all the way up because I've got this set up wrong. I don't know how I did it wrong, but it's working. So let's just, it's functional at this point. Did I get it all the way? Yes, I did. Oh, so on Life with the Wolfies, we got another. What did I put up there? Oh yeah, I made a recipe for tomorrow, and tonight I'm making another one pot. I'm making a 1-pot meal, and that is going to be another video, probably for Saturday. I was able to hop in the pool last week. The pool temp was 82, but cooled back down for the past few days. It's been just bloody chilly here and overcast. There we go. See, sometimes it's not so bad. You don't get any seams in the way. Okay. Oh, Scheisenheimer. Go. Okay. So what's everybody doing today? I did a reading on, oh, you know what? I'm just going to move this here a little bit, and then I'll be able to finish over here. Yesterday was a crock pot meal. Tonight is a one pot oven meal. Has everybody got their garden in? I'll tell you what, I've got to go out now that my pickling cucumber plants are starting to pop up. I'm going to have to plant dill soon. I want to plant like a row in one of the beds. I want to plant about 4 rows, 1 a week. And that way I should always have dill coming up around the same time as the pickling cucumbers are ripe, getting ready to be picked. Oh, but we'll see. Next one is going to be my nephew Mikey's quilt, and that quilt is over 30 years old. It's over 40 years old. No, the quilt is probably 35 years old, and it's one of the first quilts I ever made and tied, and it is just torn to rat crap. But my boys love their blankies. They don't want new ones. Well, they do, but they want to keep their old ones, and they want them to be recovered and stuff. You know what I mean? So, and that's going to be a real heavy duty project because I have to reclaim some of the. Whoa, Beverly, be careful with this. Don't want to drop the laptop on the floor. I have to reclaim some of the fabric squares from the original quilt so that he can see. You know, I did that for Arthur once from his original quilt, and the quilt got stolen. So, but Mikey will, and one of the challenges is a lot of the squares. Okay, I gotta move this over just a little bit here. A lot of the squares that are on that quilt were made with stretchy fabric, believe it or not. So it's going to be a real challenge. But my boys are worth it. And then I have to recover one of Arthur's quilts again. So, and then I get back to working on all the quilts I've started but need to finish. I don't have to work on Bubba's quilt yet because he's not going to be getting it until he's much, much older. You know why? Because until they're 30, they have a tendency to lose things like quilts and custom-made knitted things, and I'm just not up to replacing them anymore. You know what I mean? So, I'm missing chat. Am I missing chat? I am. Shoot, give me here. Hang on here. Okay. I brought a lasagna and a loaf of bread over to a friend of mine. Oh, that's sweet of you, darling. Now remember, if you're not already subscribed to Life, You come here, big ant. 'Tis the season. If you're not already, I gotta move my teacup here. Subscribed to Life with the Wolfies. And you want to see cooking videos and canning videos over the, like new ones over the summer. Thank you, Linda. You're right on the money. Then you need to subscribe to Life with the Wolfies, because this channel, our Half Acre Homestead, is live streams and grocery hauls. Pretty much it. Live streams and grocery hauls. Cooking green beans with onions and bacon. This kind of sounds like what something I'm making for supper, but you'll have to wait until Saturday for that video. I tied that too tight. See what I mean? I tied there. Pull it. Okay. Now I can move back over here. Oh, he's right. I like the burgundy. It gives more pop to the blue is pretty. The blue is pretty Hi, Missy. Awesome. All right, let's move my camera back a bit. Or my phone or whatever. Yes, I finally got my charge cords that I ordered came in the mail yesterday after my live stream. That's my mother-in-law's clock. It's got to go down the basement into the living room down there. I have enough clocks up here. And if I had them all turned on, it would be really noisy around here, because I have a Big Ben clock. I also have an old key wound mantle clock and my bird clock. And none of them are operating because they're noisy. Hey, Dima Beth, how's it going? Hey, Joan Leach. Oh, this is, well, I wouldn't call it beautiful, but I would call it beautiful in the fact that it's made with love. I'm just you got to see the original. The original is back here. This is what I'm covering. It's a mess. But my boys love their blankies. They surely do. There we go. So there's going to be a lot of, I don't know about you guys, but if you like it or not, there's going to be a lot of live streams on quilt stuff, right? I will live stream while I'm taking apart Mikey's and show you the pieces I'm going to do. I will live stream when I'm putting it together. You know the drill, folks. Right? And I am almost done this row. And because it would take way too much effort and energy to roll this, because I've got my laptop up here and it's actually a bit of a procedure to get this rolled. We're going to be done after this row. Did I get it through? Yes, I did. Oh. Briar said, I appreciate your nod to my favorite colors, Mom. He wanted me to make him a quilt in purple, green, and orange, and I just couldn't do it without throwing up. So this is the deal. Good for you, Joan. I only have one grandchild. I may have another someday, but I only have one grandchild right now. And my sons are quite demanding enough. Well, they're not really demanding. But when it comes to their quilts, they want them tickety-boo. Hey, Linda Valcourt, how's it going? Well, good. I'm glad it inspires you to get busy. I have now had my rest, so to speak. I've had the injections in my knees. And oh, by the way, I don't know if I told you guys this, but the first time I had, remember I said I had a cortisone injection in my left knee years ago, over 20 years ago. And it only lasted 11 days. It only lasted 11 days because I pushed that knee, right? Let's see how long I can, let's see how far I can go with this knee. And that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be kind. It's not a cure, okay? The shots aren't a cure. They're just, you know, a help, right? So I am being kinder to my knees and hoping the shots will last through the season. But here's the funny thing. Well, not necessarily funny. I was bending over to pick up the dustpan yesterday. And out of habit, because my knees have been so bad, I locked my knees and bent straight over. And that's painful and that hurts my knees. But I haven't been able to bend my knees. So that had until now had been my only solution. But I was grabbing the broom handle, and while I bent over, I experimentally did a squat. And my knees bent probably 25%. I was able to. So I have to now remember not to lock my knees when I'm bending over, but to very carefully bend my knees as often as I can with weight on them, but not pushing them. All right. So this is kind of physio. You know what I mean? I can't just, I'm not just going to use these shots to kill myself. And oh, shoot. Almost stabbed myself there. Gotta be careful what you say when you're wielding a sharp instrument. I don't want to push my knees to the point where I'm going to need shots again in 3 months. I'd rather wait and see if I can't get through to, like, you know, the late fall, so to speak. I found another flower garden top in stash, needs bottom finished, all pinned and ready to sew. Wow. Pot roast stew. That sounds good. So, I mean, I have to work my knees. I have to use them. So I have to retrain myself how to bend over and pick things up. I have to make a conscious effort not to lock my knee. Oh, no. Oh, it went right through. Dang. So I have to work my knees, but I'm not going to destroy them. I want to see how long I can manage with these shots. I don't want to do them too often because they do cause some damage from you working your knees and also from the cortisone itself. That's why everybody says, get hyaluronic acid, but that's a real song and dance. Here, you got to go to the specialist. You got to get him to you got to go to see an orthopedic specialist. He has to prescribe the hyaluronic acid. Then you have to go to the drugstore, get it, and then come back and he injects it. And that's a lot of bull crap, if you ask me. Hey, Jack, how are you, darling? Yeah, I've got my flower garden. After I do Mikey's, I'm going to put my wool shop quilt back on this frame. And I'm going to finish it. And I'm going to soon be sitting in my chair and not just working on the Texas Star but I will also be working on assembling the strips of my grandmother flower garden quilt. So I've got the grandmother flower garden quilt. I have my Texas Star quilt. I have Bubba's quilt. I have my wool shop quilt. I have a friendship quilt to finish. And Mikey's. So I got a lot of work to do. And that's why I said I'm purging fabric, because I'm getting stuff done, man. And I have a quilt to make for my bed. I've decided I don't like the Noble Blush. And Howie said, oh, we'll just add some white to it. And I went, no, it's not pink enough. So hopefully if I can afford it this weekend, I'm going to go buy another gallon of paint. That one, the Noble Blush, we'll use in the bathroom. We'll use it in the bathroom. Oh, we're getting there, folks. I'm almost done this row. And even though I put a border of color of orange and green all around, it's still not wide enough. So the backing is going to be part of the binding as well, as usual. Okay, there we go. You can see while I finish up. Yeah, I got to redo Arthur's too. But those are redo jobs. Mikey's and Arthur's are redo jobs. I have Flower Garden, Star, Edwards, Flower Garden, Star, Edwards, Friendship Quilt, and my wool shop quilt. So I have a lot of projects to finish. So you're not going to see anything really new, except maybe I've got to recover my quilt too. And my quilt is heavy like this one. Like the burgundy one you saw yesterday with the Egyptian cotton burgundy wine-colored sheet on the back. It's got a big L-shaped tear in the back, and it's coming apart on the top. That was my wedding quilt from my Aunt Jane. Our wedding quilt from my Aunt Jane, God rest her soul. And that was a gift in 1993. So it's been recovered twice already. This will be its third recovering and probably its final recovering. And I want to recover my cupcake quilt as well. So a lot of things to do without starting anything new. Well, recovering quilts is new stuff because you're making a new top. But Howie has his mom's wolf quilt that I made for her and her second husband, James. Howie has that, and he has it out in the motorhome, but he said it's not heavy enough. So it'll need another blanket. Oh, holy smokes, am I missing chat? I am. I'm missing chat. Whoops. Yes, Arthur's quilt too. And Bubba's quilt is an heirloom quilt, and he will be getting it when he's an adult. I mean, he may not be an adult when it's finished, but he ain't getting it. I may be dead when he gets it. But I'm going to live to 120 anyway. You don't think it's possible, but it is. Okay, 85 anyway. I got another 20, 25 years in me, I figure. If I keep doing things properly, like how I treat my body from here on out, you know? My grandma always recovered older quilts and restitched them. Well, when I recover them, they usually get tied because they're too thick. Some of them aren't. Some of them aren't too thick to to sew through. Like I've used wool blankets, and I have some too, as liners. And you can actually quilt through them, although your stitches are going to be smaller than usual. Oh. And then after I get off here, I will roll this around so that it'll be ready for, say, tomorrow. Let me know if you want a live stream at the quilt frame tomorrow. Oh. Come on, you. It makes gripping the needle great, but these things make dealing with the yarn a slow process. Process. All depends on my mood that day. Whether I call it what I call it. The hell are all these bruises coming from? I got a whole bunch of bruises on my one leg. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bruises on my leg, and all in an area of a size of a plate. I wonder what's that causing that. Well, thank you, Tina. Hey, Journey, how's it going? Hi, Julie. I found a baby block top I rescued. I have a baby block or a baby quilt top that was started. It was given to me by my friend who retired from quilting 20 years ago, and she was in her 60s at the time, and her mother did the original blocks, and then she added blocks around them. And that's just a piece of history that I just want to keep a hold of. Alrighty. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yes, you can. Okay. Alrighty. And this one right here. Ow! Frig! Oh, I just gouged my finger with the needle. Another reason I don't like doing this is another reason I didn't want to do this quilt, because it's so heavy. It's really, really hard. You see what happened to that finger? It went back and it scratched. Deep gouge in my finger. Ow! Okay. I got one more to tie after this, and then we are done. Ow, and I'm glad because my finger hurts. And I'm going to start prep for dinner too. For supper. That really hurt. It's not like a nice slice like a paper cut or something. It was with the needle. It went this way across. All a part of the experience, I suppose. And that one's now garbage. So is that one. This one can wait. And there we go, kitties. There we go. First section done. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, if I can, we'll be back tomorrow. All right? Take care. God bless. I love you guys. Never forget that.